Hello, it's almost 2 in the morning, and I thought we could be a little bit more intimate tonight, so I'm gonna record my video in the bedroom. And the topic I like to bring up today is breasts, feminists, and me. I have quite a few experiences with feminists and breasts. Now, this article is a little bit old, it's from 2015, but I think it will give you an interesting story. Now, there was a Free the Nipple campaign in Malmo in Sweden, and I find it kind of funny because the nipple is free in Malmo because from what I heard before, there's no law against showing your nipples uh, in the city that you can get punished for. But you see, these demonstrators, they went out, they bared their breasts, and one quote from this article really caught my attention, which is this. Between those that have witnessed the demonstration, it didn't seem that the message went through to stop sexualizing women's breasts. Many men in different ages took forth their mobile phones and cameras to film the bare-breasted demonstrators. In the end, a demonstrator had enough and yelled in a megaphone, "Can all men that are filming go to hell?" This didn't get the desired effect, but as the unshy photographers continued to flock around the demonstrators. Well, I can understand why it didn't get the desired effect, but I feel like it's a counterintuitive. If you're trying to asexualize the nipple and make it seem that it's nothing, it's just any other part of the body, you shouldn't care that people are taking photos of it. It'll be like somebody flocking over your arm or something and taking a bunch of photos of it and being like, "Oh, it's such a sexy arm," and you'll be like, "Oh no, don't look at my arm." Like, it's the same thing. If you really want to asexualize the nipple, then you do not care. You flaunt it. You show it off. You own it, and then people eventually will get bored and move on, and then you would have made your point. But if you feel so upset about it that somebody else is feeling kind of sexual about it, then the onus is on you, not on them. Which, yeah, I find very, very interesting. Which brings me to another point. I guess about a year or two before, I had this feminist on Facebook and as a friend. As of now, she has deleted me. I wonder why. And I had a big argument with her and her friends. So let's call her Feminist 1. So, Feminist 1, I know, not very interesting names, but person of science. She writes, "It is warm, and the subway is full of men. All of them are sitting without shirts. Oh, not all of them, but full of men sitting without shirts. Fat men, small men, well-trained men, what have you. Now put up your hand if you're a woman that could have sat there without any common stares or sexual harassment. Anyone? No, I did not think so. This is patriarchy. This is rape culture. This is, how would you translate that? Unfairness? Inequality. Yes, that's the word. Inequality. Oh, good God. Okay, so the first comment I make to this, I wrote, maybe they make those comments because it's so uncommon to see a woman half naked. If all women were half naked, then the allure would wear off. What I meant by this comment is that in places such as a nude beach or perhaps a tribe where women don't wear any shirts, this is a common occurrence, and of course nobody's going to stare. But if you're going to be in a subway or a city where everyone's dressed, or at least all women are dressed, people are going to look at you. You're going to stand out like a sore thumb. I mean, imagine putting a nun in the beach and, everyone's wearing bikinis. There's a person covered up. You're going to look, it's going to be a different person. The same as if you're going to have a goth where everyone's dressed up in suits. That person's going to stand out. You're going to think, whoa, it's different. Obviously, you're going to have your attention drawn to them. Now 43 of her friends liked that post, and I started arguing with her, brought up all these points that I told you now, and one of her other friends gets very upset, and I believe she's a journalist. A big surprise there. And I'll call her Feminist too. Now, Feminist too, she makes another post on her wall. Now, I only saw it because I checked her wall to see if she would post something, because she was arguing with me quite heatedly on that first feminist conversation. And this is what she puts up on her wall. Again, now I'm translating from Swedish, so I might sound ridiculous, but bear with me. It says, all right, a friend of mine does a status about patriarchy, referring to Feminist One, and how unfair it is that men can sit on the subway without a shirt because it's so goddamn hot, while she sits there and is sweating like all over herself and cannot take her shirt off because breasts and the sexual harassment that they're gonna attract. And you know what she has to hear? That her fucking tits are alluring. That her, that's why we are gonna be harassed. Because most harassment can be explained because of allure. And I did this picture because I have no words. And she really did do a picture. Let me see. Let me drag it into the screen. Oh, it goes all over my face. And those are the breasts that she do, and says, please harass us. Greetings, alluring tits. So this is her drawing. Oh yeah, it's all over my face now. Oh, this is so hot. I think I looked the right way. I'm too tired. I don't know which way to look at the screen. Probably missed the breast. So yeah, this is what I had to deal with. There were no proper responses to any of my comments. They did not rebuttal what I said about nude beaches. They did not even answer when I tried to compare different centuries. So for example, at the start of the 20th century, I'm pretty sure a person with short shorts and a loose tank top would get the same stares as somebody that's going bare-breasted now in town. But no refutes to that. Just, all comments were patriarchy, inequality, harassment. There was just no talk between us. It was just a one-way conversation without any of them listening to me. And yeah, I was blocked and deleted due to my comments about breasts. I really don't think that breasts are either asexual or sexual. I mean, they can be one or the other. The same with a penis. A penis can be asexual, used for urination, or it can be used to get an erection and have sex. Same with breasts, could be used for feeding a baby, or or during sexual play. Like, I was trying to think of some maybe other instance where it's not really sexualized. I'm guessing just there. They don't do much. It's not like you can pee out of them. And I just think it's ridiculous for somebody like that to deny that there's a sexual aspect to it. I mean, there's a lot of nerve connections. Some women can orgasm through breasts. For example, baby sucking on breasts create uterine contractions. There's a lot of connections in the body, and also the big breasted women. Kind of sort of evolutionary choice by men. Obviously, bigger breasts don't allow for more milk production, but at the same time, they maybe provide that other visual stimuli that an ass does, as we're upright. So breasts are the thing you can see in the front that's more sexual. So there's no denying that. And I think it's so sad that they deny it, but at the same time it's funny because even though I don't have her anymore on Facebook, I have her in other social media, and she puts up these pictures of herself with like bright lipstick, breasts really pushed up, low cut top, just picture of lips and breasts, and it's sexual. And her friends, her feminist friends, writing, "Oh, so hot! You look so good," and she's using them. She's using them for the allure that she was so upset about, And it's just I find it very fascinating. I find it so fascinating how somebody can be so upset about it, but at the same time use it for the very same effect they don't want it used for. At to have that attractiveness about them, and there's nothing wrong about that. And I don't see what the big deal is about somebody finding them attractive or staring at you. Obviously, if nobody's hurting you physically, or they're not following you home and pinning you down and hurting you, like it's just a look. And that's also kind of part of evolution, like our bodies are there to attract and to show health, and um, whatever we have on display is that aspect of us. I know a lot of times people say that I want somebody to like me for my mind or my personality, but I think personality and body are very much interrelated, because what kind of personality you have has an effect on your body and how you treat it. I mean, obviously, some people are very lucky. For example, they can eat a lot of junk food and they will not get fat, but other people have to refrain, for example, to keep fit or to exercise. And I think our own choices that we make through our personality has a certain effect on our body and how it will look like to others. There's also a very interesting connection, because when the embryo or the fetus develops, the same cells that make the brain also make the skin. So a lot of times when somebody is stressed out, for example, they can get rashes or pimples or, anything, what have you. There's that connection between brain and skin. And uh, again, it's a signal to the opposite sex that maybe something's off, something's wrong, you might be sick, and that makes that person slightly less attractive. I mean, it's not always the case, also depends on the person, but it just, I find it interesting, and I think, um, you know, our bodies and our personalities and our minds are all one thing. Just because somebody appreciates one aspect of it doesn't make the other one any less so. Um, so yeah, thank you for listening in this evening video, and I wish you a great day.